Like, there's no excuse for it really, and truly. Like, I don't think anything gives you the right to run into someone else's store, someone else's job, and wreck their livelihood. Because if you take the person who owned the furniture shop, for example, like that furniture shop survived World War I.
What's the next step after the riots?
I'd say first of all, you've got to clean up Croydon, evidently. Like buildings that are mashed down, obviously they need to get repaired. But one thing I would say is that I think relationships over time between young people and police have been broken down. For example, with stop and search, a lot of the time when I've been stopped and searched, they haven't really done it in a polite way. They've been really aggressive about it. And afterwards, there was no thank you. Thank you for cooperating. You could have done, like, if police took out some of their time to like engage young people in a positive way, I think that maybe they would have a lot more respect for them. Because I was listening to someone on TV, and I really did agree with what he said. He said that police now, young people nowadays, they'll stop and listen to policemen not because they respect them, because they're afraid that they're going to hit them with a baton. I think that's the wrong way around. Like, I should listen to an officer because I respect who he is and the uniform that he's in, not for the fact that I think I'm going to get assaulted by him. See what I'm saying? So the quicker that we can get young people police to respect each other, not just young people to respect police, but police to respect young people, the quicker I think that this kind of foolishness will happen again.
What's your opinion on the riots?
They were tramps. Everyone that did it was tramps. Literally, like, you were not brought up to go, okay, I'm gonna go out looting today. Like, you weren't brought up to do that.
Okay. What do you consider the next step to be?
Basically, I think like the government should kind of like talk to youth more about what they need, because at the moment you're talking to like other adults about what they think children need, and obviously when you've got like most politicians are from like middle class backgrounds, so they've never really been like lived in the ends, so they don't really know what the struggles are that youth have. So they've like cut off like all like youth cuts, like things like the connections, like they don't really have anywhere to go other than the website. And not a lot of the time you can get stuff from a website. You need someone to actually talk to, like, because you can't really get the website to tell you how to make like your CV. So yeah.
Okay. Do you think it was dealt with in the correct way?
In some ways, the riots.
Yeah.
I think after the first night, I don't think they were, but after they had like all the police came in, I think like everyone knew there was a kind of like authority there, so they knew not to do it anymore. But like, I think they should have a bit more violence, like forceful, because like when you went with the whole like, oh, it's okay, like we're just gonna like arrest you, didn't really do nothing. But like once you like got the batons and dashed them, like, everyone took more notice.
What's your opinion on the riots?
I think the riots, there was a lot of different factors that went into it, and I think it's not as simple as just saying it was down to one thing. I think there's loads of different factors, and I think in general, I mean the younger ones, I can understand it was just a hype. I don't think they really thought about the consequences. I think it's the older ones especially. I mean, like when you hear there's like 30-year-olds as well and stuff in there, I think there's got to be a responsibility somewhere with it.
Okay. Do you think it was dealt with in the correct way?
I think personally, in terms of the power the police had, I think they should have been given more leeway to use more force, if you know what I mean. I know that's a bit of a controversial statement, but I think had Tottenham been dealt with in a more forceful manner, you wouldn't have seen it spread, because people would have been like, no, police are locking it down, you know what I mean. So I think personally myself, a bit more of a forceful approach could have helped a lot.
Okay, what's the next step from here?
Next step from here, well, I mean, obviously, I think the people who their buildings are burnt down and stuff, houses, businesses, I think first and foremost it should go to helping them out, making sure they've got places to live, ways to get compensation for their money and stuff that they're losing. And in terms of the youth that have looted, I think, yeah, keep chasing them down, keep finding them, make sure that it's not just like, don't let it seem acceptable for it to be happening. Yeah.
Why do you think the riots happened?
I think it was just out of the moment things that everyone just went crazy for a bit.
Why do you think it went crazy? Now, what started initially?
I think that Tottenham thing, everyone just got gassed about it, so everyone just jumped on it, really, and had the chance to take stuff, so they did.
And do you think the whole situation was dealt with properly?
In what way? Like,
like the way young people went on, and the way
I think the police sometimes went a bit over harsh, like the way they were beating up people, but then again they had to because they were being attacked as well, so it was kind of 50-50, but I guess it was alright. But I think the whole looting thing, I think as well as the riots trying to be cleared, they should have had more police trying to stop the looting because they just went past it.
what do you think the next step should be?
Everyone stay in their house. Everyone just I think there should be like a youth team that just joins up the police and they just talk and sort out problems.
That's what we're doing right now, so we'll literally what do you think overall, what's your whole opinion on the whole thing that's happening?
I think it's funny. I think it's ridiculous and I don't see the point in it really. I think it should just end, so.
Alright, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Why do you think the riots basically happened?
It's just the climate really that we're in at the moment. There's no jobs. It's just I've had to move from Essex to come here to look for work, and it's just nothing, absolutely nothing. And I suppose the second that all these young unemployed heard that it was basically just all out to loot, and they used that. Was it Mark Duggan? Was that his name? Yeah. They used him as an excuse to go and riot and loot and that. But the government, it's their fault that it's got this bad. You know what I mean? And as well, on the news that David Cameron, for days and days, it was kept getting announced. Oh, David Cameron's even had to cut his holiday short to come back. I mean, it's his job. What does he expect? Praise that he's got to come back? And it was he came back on the 4th day. He should be here on the 1st day, and he's only got himself to blame for how bad it got.
Do you think it was dealt with in the correct manner?
I think it had to die. I think the police. I don't want to say this, but I don't really like the police. But I think they've done a good job in the sense they did, because there weren't a lot they could do, and I was quite. Yeah, they stuck together and they dealt with it good. But they couldn't have done it any sooner. Definitely not. It just had to die down on its own.
Yeah. What do you think should be happening next? Like, what's next?
It's going to be more riots, definitely. Oh yeah, there's just so many unemployed that ain't been given any chances, because a year ago the apprenticeships near where I live in Essex, you could do them when you were 19, but now because the Tories are coming, they're doing all cuts and everything, and now if you're 19 you're too old for it, so you've basically not even got a chance for an apprenticeship where you're going to get paid a little bit of money, so everyone's going to have to sign on, and eventually no one's going to have any money, so it's going to cause more riots, and that's what I think anyway.
Last question, what's the whole opinion on the whole situation?
I think it's a shame like small businesses were affected, but businesses like Tesco's and that, who cares really, they can afford it.
Alright, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Firstly, just what's your whole general opinion on the riots and riots?
I think it was just so unnecessary, just really unnecessary about it.
I'd say it was an excuse to
senseless violence. It was opportunistic. That it didn't seem like there was much reasoning behind it. When you spoke to someone who'd actually been a part of it, they didn't seem to have much to say for themselves, other than, well, I had nothing else to do, a free pair of trainers, that kind of thing. At least that's the most of I've seen people who've done it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, really.
Okay, how do you think people dealt with oppression?
I don't think that
No.
in the beginning there should have been more police rather than the end, because at the end there was no one
because
actually doing it.
they knew that in Croydon there was like riots at like 1 o'clock, so there was police everywhere. Then people were getting beaten up and the police like, I can't do anything about it, which was just...
I think
it seemed a bit delayed, and it seemed more like they were looking at the immediate cause and what was happening. They didn't think about the reasons people genuinely may have had to do it. They were grouping them all in one, really. They didn't approach the situation and tackle it as well as someone, like if they'd gotten some young people involved, maybe spoken to them, seen what they could have said, it may have been like calmed easier and faster. It seemed a bit like a waste of resources because there's so many police, so much time wasted. It didn't really, it was more like they were just procrastinating rather than actually solving the problem.
How do you think the police should have dealt with it?
I think they should actually use some sort of force against them rather than just standing there.
Yeah.
They should have acted to stop them, not just to watch them. Like,
it's a bit of a difficult situation when you're the police officer, because if you're violent, it's human rights, it's police brutality.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing your job. So what can you really say?
And if they don't get power from the government, then they're only just doing what they can. Like they're going home to families and stuff.
Yeah, it did look like they were just there for display than to actually help anything.
Exactly.
Okay, and what do you think next week
I think just trying to show people that young children are not bad. Like any young children, like because now we're trying to look for jobs, and it's just obviously they're going to judge us. They're going to think, oh, we're part of it.
We're
all young
all
children are. Yeah, we're not. Like I was at home, watching. Just not to be judged, and just to show that young people can be helpful. We are trustworthy.
And the majority it was the minority that were out on the streets doing all this anyway.
Yeah, and just to show them that we're not stupid as everyone thinks we are.
We're not violent thugs.
And try to help, try to help the community, help whoever lost their home. As
definitely
much as we
a
can.
lot of community work.
Yeah, a lot of community work.
Alright, thanks guys. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Why do you think the riots basically happened?
Well, it started off with somebody getting shot, and then it sort of escalated a little bit, and then people just sort of wanted, they were sort of short on money, so they wanted to go out and get money. So mainly it was all about that sort of thing.
Do you think the way it was dealt with was good?
I think they're a bit too lenient, I think. But I mean, generally, yeah. I mean, it's sort of, there's too many people and we weren't really well prepared, but it could have gone a lot worse.
If the police could have done it any better, how do you think it should have been done? The change they should have made?
Well, they should have been faster in act, maybe use like the rubber bullets and like the tear gas. But well, you're out in the streets, you're rioting, you get what you get. Yeah.
What do you think the next step should be?
I don't know, maybe trying to prevent it, maybe having more CCTV, tracking larger crowds, I don't know, something like that.
And then just last of all, what's your whole opinion on the whole thing?
Well, it's a bit of a silly thing that happened really over something that started off very small and then ended up with people just stealing really. It's sort of, it's just a massive excuse for people to go out and start stealing lots of stuff really.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.